Shop smarter, spend less. A realistic grocery plan for the El Niño price surge. As the upcoming Super El Niño prepares to disrupt global agriculture and push food prices sharply upward, households across Florida and the rest of the country can protect their budgets by shifting how they shop. Strategic substitutions, smarter store habits, and a focus on weather-resilient ingredients allow you to maintain nutrition without absorbing the full impact of the projected 15.8% spike in global food costs. By adjusting your grocery routine now, before inflation peaks in mid-2027, you can stay ahead of supply chain volatility and secure affordable staples while they are still widely available. One of the most effective ways to lower your weekly food bill during the El Niño inflation wave is to embrace private label brands and weather-resilient ingredients. These simple swaps bypass the crops and products most vulnerable to climate disruption. In the produce section, shifting away from field-grown Florida and California winter crops, such as strawberries, bell peppers, and fresh tomatoes, helps you avoid the volatility caused by fungal disease risks and storm damage. Instead, choosing apples, bananas, carrots, sweet potatoes, and other dense root vegetables give you stable nutrition without the price spikes tied to fragile winter harvests. The cereal and bakery aisles offer another opportunity to cut costs without sacrificing quality. Store-brand oats, generic bread, and bulk white or brown rice consistently cost 20% to 30% less than name-brand cereals and artisanal loaves. These pantry staples deliver the same nutritional value while insulating you from the rising costs of wheat, sugar, and packaging materials. In the baking section, replacing high-priced cane sugar and imported chocolate with honey, maple syrup, or store-brand vanilla baking alternatives helps you stay ahead of the global sugar shortage, which is expected to push sweetener prices up by 20% to 30% by early 2027. Protein choices matter as well. Fresh beef and chicken breasts will become increasingly expensive as corn and soy animal feed prices climb. By choosing pork loins, frozen poultry bags, canned tuna, salmon, chicken, and plant-based proteins like lentils and chickpeas, you can maintain a balanced diet while avoiding the inflation tied to livestock feed. Dry beans, black beans, pinto beans, chickpeas. Store for years, making them one of the most reliable and affordable protein sources during climate-driven disruptions. Peanut butter also stands out as a calorie-dense, shelf-stable option that stores exceptionally well. To stretch your budget further, adopt advanced shopping strategies designed specifically for inflationary periods. The store brand first rule encourages you to commit to private label versions of every center aisle pantry item for 6 months. This single habit can dramatically reduce your grocery bill. Pair it with weekly audits of your grocery store's digital app, where clipping coupons and building your meal plan around front-page loss leaders ensures you capitalize on the deepest discounts available. Leaning heavily on frozen and canned goods is another powerful tactic. Flash frozen fruits and vegetables are processed months in advance, locking in lower pre-El Niño prices and protecting you from sudden crop failures or shelf spoilage. Shopping the perimeter of the store, produce, bulk meats, dairy, keeps your cart filled with raw ingredients rather than processed foods, which are more vulnerable to rising sugar, wheat, and packaging costs. Because grocery inflation is expected to peak in mid-2027 due to a 6 to 9 month supply chain lag, now is the ideal time to stock up on shelf-stable staples. Core grains and carbohydrates face high global risk as wheat and rice harvests struggle with climate pressure and export restrictions. Store-brand white and brown rice, dry pasta, oats, and baking flour should be purchased early and in quantity. Flour, in particular, allows you to bypass the soaring costs of prepackaged baked goods and crackers. Canned and shelf-stable proteins are equally important. As fresh meat prices rise, canned tuna, salmon, chicken, and dry or canned beans provide reliable alternatives. Lentils and chickpeas offer long storage life and excellent nutrition, making them essential pantry items during El Niño disruptions. For produce, frozen fruits, especially berries and peaches, are packaged months before the climate impacts hit, giving you access to stable prices. Canned tomatoes in all forms, diced, crushed, paste, are indispensable for cooking and will shield you from winter tomato shortages. Frozen or canned vegetables such as corn, peas, and green beans retain high nutritional value and eliminate the risk of fresh produce spoilage. even sweeteners require strategic planning. With global sugar yields dropping sharply, granulated white and brown sugar should be purchased now while prices remain manageable. Honey and maple syrup serve as excellent long-term alternatives that store well and remain stable during market fluctuations. Finally, if you have pets, consider stocking up on canned and wet cat food. Prices have already risen by 6.4%, and buying a few months' supply now will protect you from localized shortages and further price hikes expected next year. By making these targeted swaps and adopting strategic shopping habits, you can navigate the El Niño inflation wave with confidence. Stocking up early on shelf-stable staples, frozen produce, and private label pantry items ensures your household remains protected from the worst of the mid-2027 price surge. With thoughtful planning and intentional choices, you can maintain nutrition, reduce stress, and keep your grocery budget steady even as global conditions become increasingly unpredictable. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone trying to stay ahead of rising food costs. Preparing for the El Niño inflation wave doesn't have to be overwhelming. Small, smart changes make a huge difference. Stick around for more practical guides, Florida-specific food strategies, and budget-friendly tips to help you thrive no matter what the climate throws our way.